Hey everybody, Mr. Kindel here to read you a story called The Brothers and the Starfruit Tree. It's a tale from Vietnam. Hope you enjoy. The Brothers and the Starfruit Tree, a tale from Vietnam. Once upon a time, two brothers lived with their parents in a village in Vietnam. Over the years, the father worked hard and grew quite wealthy. The brothers grew up in the same house with the same parents, yet they were very different. One brother was content with a quiet, modest life. But the elder brother always wanted more wealth, more land, and a bigger house. In time, the parents grew frail and died. The elder son, now married, chose how the estate would be divided. Being a greedy man, he claimed most of the inheritance. He took the house, most of the land, and all the money. He sent the younger brother to live in a small house and a small piece of land. Some brothers might have complained about how unfair this was, but the younger brother was content with his good wife and his simple life. One lonely tree grew on the younger brother's land. This starfruit tree would be a disappointment to most people. Its golden fruit was small and sour tasting. But the younger brother saw its promise. He watered the tree every day. He trimmed its dead branches in hopes that they would grow. He longed to have it produce large amounts of fruit. Then he could sell the fruit and make a comfortable living. Meanwhile, the elder brother enjoyed his wealth. He didn't worry about a thing except how to spend money. The starfruit tree flourished under the younger brother's care. It grew tall and strong. When the summer came, his branches drooped with the weight of the fruit. Once the starfruit was ripe, the younger brother prepared to harvest it. But something stopped him. Each day, a very large raven alighted in the tree. It would eat its fill, moving from fruit to fruit. With each bite, the raven was destroying that piece of fruit. The raven was also destroying the man's hopes of earning a living. The younger brother and his wife were disheartened. One day they stood by the tree watching the raven eat. "What are we going to do, husband?" asked the young man's wife. "Every day the raven returns and eats the ripe fruit. If this continues, we may go hungry this winter." "I know, my dear, but the raven must be hungry to come back every day. Once winter comes, there will be no food for the raven to eat. At least we may be able to find other sources of food," he observed. The raven, hearing the couple talk, perched on a low branch and spoke to them. "Don't worry about using this fruit to make a living. I will reward you for sharing it with me," said the raven. The couple stepped back in fear. Finding his voice at last, the man said, "We're happy to share it with you, but we had hoped to have some fruit to sell. Otherwise, it will be a bitter winter for us." "Trust me," said the raven. "I will repay you for the fruit and for your trust. Here's what to do. Go home and make a big sack that is exactly 3 feet long. Bring the sack to the tree tomorrow. You will be well rewarded." The next day, the younger brother took the sack to the tree. The raven was waiting in the tree just as he had promised. The raven flew down and said, "Climb on my back. Don't worry, I'm very strong. Bring the bag and hold on tightly." Man's curiosity overcame his fear. He climbed on the raven's back and they flew off to sea. After some time, the raven flew down and landed on an island. Gold and precious jewels lay all about, sparkling in the sun. "Fill up the sack," the raven told him. "You and your wife will have enough to keep you in comfort for the rest of your lives." "But won't the sack make me heavy? How will we return home?" the younger brother asked in concern. "Your sack is exactly the right size, 3 feet long. I can fly us back when it's full," answered the raven. Once they had safely returned, the man thanked the raven for his kindness. He and his wife bought a larger piece of land and built a lovely new home. They lived comfortably, but not to spend in excess. They shared whatever they could with the poor. One day, the couple invited the older brother and his wife to dinner. At first, the older brother refused to come, but then he heard how the couple was living well, even sharing with the poor. The greedy brother had to find out how this had happened. So one night, the greedy brother and his wife came to dinner. "Your home is fine, brother," he said. "Tell me how you have managed to do so well." The younger brother shared the story about the raven and the starfruit tree. Of course, the greedy brother was frantic to own the tree and meet the raven. "Trade with me," he begged. "I'll give you all of my fortune if you let me have that starfruit tree." The younger brother agreed, and the exchange was made. The greedy brother waited by the starfruit tree each day. As before, the raven came to eat its fill. The brother spoke to the raven, and it told him to bring back a 3-foot-long bag. In his greed, however, the brother brought back a much bigger bag the next day. The raven took the brother to the island and told him to fill up his bag. The greedy brother got to work. He filled up the bag, and when it was full, he filled up his pockets and even his hat. The greedy brother climbed onto the raven's back. It took off into the air, struggling with the weight of the gold and the jewels. The raven flew back over the sea, straining with the extra weight of the larger bag. But even the strong raven couldn't keep it going after some time. The raven swayed and dipped. The greedy brother and all his riches slipped into the sea and was never seen again. Each summer, the raven returns to the starfruit tree, and each summer it eats its fill of the rich, ripe, golden fruit. And the local people were happy to share their fruits with the hungry raven. I think the lesson for this story is to not be greedy. What do you think? Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.